Alright guys, for those of you who have been actually anticipating a interior quality video, guess what? Today's your lucky day. Finally got the car back yesterday after my little fiasco, but everything is working perfect now. So this is just to show you the overall interior quality. Excuse me. We'll start off with a train. That's great. Door panels, okay? I really hope that train isn't coming this way. I'm gonna be pissed. You have hard plastic here, but it's a very nice grain. When you have your hand or run your hand along it, it's smooth. It's not really rough at all. The cut edges are really good. There's nothing hard, really bad about it. I mean, it's nice and solid. You can't push it in easy like the likes of the Accent or the 2012 Civic. I know you can push the door panels in really easy and they flex. Of course, you have a tweeter. The one thing I wish I had was ambient lighting in the door handles. And it would have been kind of cool had the door handles been, you know, kind of like a chrome finish material. That is a freaking train. Oh my gosh. What I'm going to do is put all the windows up, and hopefully we won't get the train sound. I'm going to bake in my own car for the sake of YouTube because I don't want to reshoot this video. This would be a good sound deadening video, I guess. Here's without. And with. There you go. Sound deadening material. Haha, turned out to be so bad anyway. Right? Alright, train's leaving. Windows back down. Anyway, let's go back over the door again. The middle of the door. Okay, materials in the middle of the door that run all the way down to the door pocket. I'm not hugely a fan of. I mean, it's okay. It's not awesome. It is a hard material. It's got this same pattern on it as the dashboard. It's just hard. I mean, again, it's not a cheap hard. It's a substantial hard. And doors also sound very substantial when you close them. They don't sound tinny. They don't sound hollow or anything like that. I've already got my arm marks in this padded part. This actually is really nice to have. It's in the perfect spot. It comes out far enough and it goes back far enough to where, you know, no matter how long your arms are or how big you are, you're going to have some kind of armrest here. You get the same painted plastic on the armrest that you have in the rest of the interior. The only thing I can see, and this is me griping. Was I zooming again? No, I wasn't. There's a itty bitty little plastic right there that I can see. Overall, the cut lines are pretty good. Everything's straight. Everything fits pretty well. And this is kind of a hard thing for them to pull off, but actually does fit pretty well. The window switches. I love the window switches in this car. They are substantial. They are well dampened. They feel quality. They're not cheap. They're not too light. They have just the right amount of dampening on them. And they have the great click here to tell you, hey, this is your auto up, your auto down. Great window switches. Really like them. Of course, this is your window lockout button. Whoever uses that. And of course, the same materials continue to the bottom of the door panel. I've got my nasty feet on that already. Someone complained about these cup holders protruding into the legroom area, but really? That's like an inch. Get over it. And of course, this only comes with 5-speed manual SEs, is this metallic interior accessory package, which gets you these door sill plates and this nice leather shift knob. I can't pronounce the word leather. So, moving to the main dashboard, like there's a secondary dashboard, you idiot, Matt. Dashboard itself, not hollow, substantial, feels well built. You know, it's not echoey, it doesn't flex, none of that crap. You have your airbag cover down here. Now this is where this car really impressed me. Usually cars in this class, you have some really shitty fit lines down here. Guess what? Except for the little flap up here, where it's not quite attached, fit lines are perfectly fine. You can see, it's even, all the way up, fine, perfectly fine. The one thing I see right here is this gap. I think that's more of a function of the design than anything else, but I do see that gap when the door is closed. as you can see. That's not really a complaint. It's not really an issue for me. It's just something I noticed. One other little tiny thing which isn't really an issue is this, the weather stripping. It doesn't completely stay attached. Some glue or something would have been nice to keep that attached. But again, anything with this much of a curve is extremely hard to keep it, you know, flush against there. I don't really blame them for that. The plastics on the B-pillar, same as the door and the rest of the vehicle. So no real complaint there. The seatbelts are black, so there's a bit of an accent there, you know, with the black and the tan accents. I think it looks pretty good. It's pretty cohesive. I'm going to leave that door open because it's kind of hot. The two major, actually there's three little spots in this car, okay? These little vents that go to the doors, okay? There's a little tiny little gap up here at the top that's not quite there. It's mostly well there, you know, put together. It's a soft material, so it's a little more difficult to make things, you know, completely 100%. But there's that one little spot, it just gets to me. Doesn't really get to me, actually. I don't really care. I'm going to clean the lens real quick because I think it's got some crap on it. Alright, now in the Fiesta, while you're driving it, you will notice there's low gloss, soft touch materials up until this point. Now the plastic is still low gloss past that point. It is hard, but again, not cheap crap. It's still substantial. The one thing I'm really glad they did well with on this car, so glad they did well with, was mating these plastics in here. Perfect line in there, perfect line over here where this curve is, and it just lines up perfectly right here with the A-pillar. Consistent gap, just gives you kind of feel that they actually spent their time putting this together. Let me put my little octopus friend back over here. He's cool, okay. Don't mess with the octopus man. Make fun of me because I can't talk today. Okay, steering wheel. The trim fits well. That little trim piece fits well on either side. Even gaps. The steering wheel itself, there's gaps that are even on both sides of the steering wheel. There is a consistent gap on both sides where the steering wheel audio controls. That doesn't really change. Consistent, like it. Another little tiny thing is you see the steering wheel here. It's a little misaligned, while this side completely patched together perfect. That's another tiny little thing. I mean, there's nothing major in here. It's just little tiny details. And of course you have this little plastic cover that pulls out when you have the telescoping steering wheel out, and that's why you got that there. There's a little bit of a plastic fray right there. I think you can see it now that it's focused. There's a little bit of plastic there. But other than that, of course you have your all soft touch up here. All these gaps around this surround are perfect, as you can see. None of them are huge. The gaps are even and they're tight, so they're in there well. And especially this little plastic part at the bottom, that was an opportunity for them to mess it up. They did it right. And then the part where you have your little multi-information display thing, again, if you look straight back, gaps are perfect, consistent, no problem. And of course you have your little defrost thing up there. On the other side, you do have that little piece again. It's a little bit out more at the bottom than it is at the top. You have this little piece here where your ambient light strip is, and here I wish the ambient light actually wasn't in there, or that there was a brightness adjustment, because this is really bright because it comes on this light stone interior and it kind of magnifies it. Cut lines on this side are almost perfect, not quite perfect, and it comes back here, meets up with the center console pretty well. I'm just trying to see this. Oh, this overhangs. Okay, that's why I was seeing a gap. It overhangs, that's what it does. I mean, it's not completely perfect. And another tiny little thing is on this side. As you can see, there's a tiny little thing there, but that's actually on the other side too, so that may be more of a function of the design than anything else. I've already got my foot scuffs on the inside there. Whoops. If you look straight ahead at this, you can see that it's a little off. Like I said, these are little niggly things that I've, you know, noticed for the past couple of weeks, but like I said, nothing's really perfect. Even the fit has its fit line issues. I get it. Fit line issues. Climate controls, quality, feel. You know, they're well dampened, especially this main stock here. They're not like a Yaris where you turn it and you feel like they go ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. These are electronically controlled. They're not controlled by cables, unlike some cars in this class fit. Leather shift knob, like I said, comes with that interior accessory package. I'm really talking a lot. I'm sorry, I just realized this video has been 10 minutes already. You have a low gloss plastic around here, which is nice because it doesn't glare up in your face, which I hated about some Ford products, especially the Fusion had that surround around the gear shift, and when the sun got on it, it just blinded you right in the eyes. But this is all consistent, and it's a nice low gloss. Not a cheap low gloss, just low gloss. The gaps are even around the sync console here. No real complaints there. Let me get my iPod cord all situated. I really wish the iPod was in the glove box. This is just irritating to have it sitting out in the middle, but whatever. I have a coffee stain, which I need to clean up. There's an ambulance. The cup holders, really nothing to see there. Little thing some of you may not have known is that you can pull this little rubber insert out and it becomes a coin holder or a big cup holder. Or you can just leave that in there. I got the water bottle in there and my Altoids. Other than that, the headliner is not an awesome material, but it's not like cardboard either. And it's, you know, you can't push it up easily. It's, you know, padded somewhat. I'm zooming. Woo! Can't tell what camera I'm using. And it's made out of a fairly nice material. It could be better. I'm not going to lie, it could be better. But, again, this was a cheap car. The visors are this hard plastic. I believe they're the same kind you find on a Focus. I could be wrong. Maybe those are wrapped in fabric. Got a little thing here. I would never put anything in there because it gets stretched out and you would never be able to use it again. It's okay. It's, you know, nothing to write home about. One thing I do kind of like, which is neat, is it's got that little metal arm on it. I haven't seen that since my '93 Accord. I think that's neat. It's actually got a real metal arm on it. Usually they're cheap plastic little things. Microphone, of course, all your different controls. You have a Bramble Pig. If you ever played God of War 3, you'll know what Bramble is. Eyebrow lights. These controls are actually one touch to open, but you have to hold them down to close. You have your door and your off switch up here for these front lights. Another thing, A-pillars. Everything fits perfect around the A-pillar. Nothing's hanging out at the top. Everything's flush. And of course the weather stripping, I see some new cars where the weather stripping's all messed up and goobered up, and this is perfect. The weather stripping fits perfectly fine around every little nook and cranny. Now, the B-pillar, there's a consistent gap on both sides where B-pillar meets the ceiling, consistent gap. And then you have the cloth. This is, for some people, it seems to be like a love-hate relationship, but as you can see, they're well bolstered. They're not really flat. They are well bolstered. They could use a little bit more lumbar, I'm not going to lie, but overall, as a total package, they're not bad at all. I know they're going to wear really well because they're this tough material. They're not as bad as the ones in the Fusion, I've said that already, but they are, you know, soft enough. They have enough support. You know, driven 2 hours and it still felt, you know, like I could go for a while. The Civic did have better seats. I'm going to concede that the Civic did have better seats, but this actually is not bad at all. I really am pleased with what I got. You know, I really like the bolstering. It kind of holds you in, especially for someone that's my size. If you see, I just barely fill up the side bolsters, so any movement side to side, and I'm running right into that bolster. So it really kind of hugs you and keeps you in. I hope that wasn't an awful angle trying to get in there. Let's go look in the back seat. Ooh, pretty sun. Now, a lot of people nitpick and complain about the back seat of the Fiesta. It's perfectly fine. A little tight. I mean, not really, actually. This is just about, if not a little bit better, than the headroom that the Accent had. It doesn't help because of the sunroof. There's this little cutout back here, though, where your head will be, and it works just fine. You know, of course, I might hit my head on the D-pillar here, or C-pillar, whatever the fuck this is. You know, if we were going side to side a lot, but other than that, you know, I'd be comfortable back here for a little while. And of course, materials from the front seat continue to the back seat. You actually do have a little spat of cloth back here. So whoever's sitting back here say, hey, I can have my little bit of cloth, which I really like. Of course, the window controls are the same as they were in the front seat. Well dampened, they feel, you know, great. The door panels, again, high quality back here. It's solid, everything's solid. You know, nothing feels cheap or chintzy or, you know, thin or anything like that. And I just now realized that there's cloth back here. I think that is so cool. They didn't cheap out and just put plastic. That would have been the normal thing to do, was just continue through with plastic, but they actually put cloth there. Huh, interesting. And of course, let's see, no armrest, we all know, blah blah blah. These are all adjustable, these come up, these come down. You have the button on the side when you go to fold them, they go like that. And the seat materials are the same that they are back here, that they were in the front. So that's about it for the back seat. Another thing I did want to mention while I was back here is the carpet. A lot of times when you get into subcompacts like this, the carpet is like really cheap. Fit and the Accent actually were both really cheap. This is about the same quality of carpet that was on my Civic, which was nice plush stuff. It doesn't come off in your hand when you rub it, and it's, you know, it just feels like it's a little bit higher quality than you would expect. And the same goes for the floor mats. So that was a little bit of a surprise. Along with that, that is so cool. I didn't realize that. This is going to be a 15-minute video. Oh my gosh. Moving to the back, of course you have your little button right there. I thought I might show you that. Now in the back, of course, you don't have the same carpet. It's changed to this material, but again, it's not awful. It's the cargo compartment. What can I say? Dang it! I forgot to give that to my mom. You have these little derp tie downs back here. You have little hooks on the side, which I found was convenient. This is for my roadside assistance kit thingy. And those are on both sides. Of course, you do get a cargo light on one side. Yeah, that's about it, other than this little cargo cover, which I really like because it just kind of covers everything up back here, keeps it from flying out of the window if you got the windows down or anything like that. Other than that, I think that's all for the back here. Anyways, I think I've wasted enough of y'all's time. Oh my gosh, 17-minute video? This is gonna be really boring. 17 minutes of Matt talking. Good lord. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and let me know what other videos you want. I'll be more than happy to make them. Thanks, guys. Bye.